Hey everybody, it's Chugga Conroy. Welcome back to more The Legend of Zelda Skyward Sword. Last time, we vanquished Demise, brought peace to the surface world, and began the settlement that would one day become Hyrule. This time, after clearing your main quest, you are given the option to start all over again in Hero Mode. What exactly is different in Hero Mode? Well, that's what we're here to find out here today. First of all, you gain the option to skip any cutscene you like by pressing the 2 button instantly. Technically, you can do this in some cases in your normal playthrough, but you do have to press plus to make the prompt appear, and it's not exactly quick. So it is a little bit preferred in that way if you're not really wanting to see the same cutscenes again, or indeed the tutorials when playing through it a second time. Yeah, what? This was 7.5 minutes into the first episode when we began this journey? Nope, it's right here. There are some various other differences when playing on Hero Mode. For instance, if we can go outside, some scenes are actually different. Hey Link, up here! Ah, the inspector himself. I almost said instructor, I like how I can't even get it wrong. Yeah, he acknowledges that we are in Hero Mode at this point. Oh, but today's the day of the long-awaited wings ceremony. You don't say. I can't escape it even after finishing that. Something I'd like to talk to you about. Look this way while pressing Z and hold A to have a quick chat with me. Do you still say the same thing when I do this? I'm not quite sure right now. Yes, teaching us about Z targeting. Looks like you already know this. There's no harm in reviewing the basics, you know. In Hero Mode, you'll lose hearts twice as fast, so it's doubly important to know how to effectively Z target. It's a little silly to carry on a conversation from this distance. Why don't you come join me up here? Already, this is the game's hard mode. A lot of other Zelda titles will allow you to access Hero Mode from the beginning these days, but this was one of its earliest inclusions. I don't even think Ocarina of Time Master Quest had double damage in it. This might have... Was this the start of it? I'm wanting to say that it was. Alright, you know what to do next, right? I know? I see. Well then, come on over here quickly. Wow. Still giving us those tutorials even though you're saying that you're not to. You really are inheriting your inner Fi. We're actually gonna get some last-minute bird writing practice this morning. Oh, you have someone to meet. Okay, you're just saying the same thing that you did before. It's really weird. He like fades in and out of telling you the same things that he said before and not telling you the same things that he said before. So you'll have to excuse me slurring my words right there. It's a very confusing situation that is having its effect on my mind. There are some various other changes in Hero Mode. In addition to taking double damage, you will not have hearts... I need to say I'm busy with this guy. I didn't think I said it last time. Ah, I see. Can you please tell the headmaster, Instructor Horwell? Okay, yeah, okay. Anyway, other changes in Hero Mode. In addition to taking double damage, you will not get random heart drops from enemies. You will also not find heart flowers growing around on the land. The only way that you can circumvent this is by having a heart medal equipped. It gives those a lot more use. As such, goddess walls are godsends, as they are the only things that will spawn hearts or fairies under normal circumstances without the need for any item in your adventure pouch. On top of this, your stamina meter and air meter are a lot more unforgiving. I'm eating through loads of stamina with every action that I do, a lot more so than before. But they don't just leave you without any tools to succeed. All of the Sheikah Stone hints are available from the start of your adventure, and best of all, any treasure and bugs that you got on your first playthrough carry over into this. So when I was saying that I wanted to catch everything possible and that I recommended that you go out of your way to get as many collectibles, because who knows, they might be worth something someday, I wasn't just talking about Rupin. I was kind of hoping to nudge you in the right direction that these items will indeed have their uses in a much harder playthrough where you're going to need a lot more money, you're going to need to rely on your items a lot more, you're going to need to infuse your potions, going to need to do a lot of that. I know a lot of people do wish that this was available from the start, but unfortunately it's not, and that trend hadn't really begun yet. So if you're looking for a bit more of a challenge, Skyward Sword's already a hard game. This is even harder. Not only that, but even though I'm not capable of showing it, your Skyward Strike begins fully powered. Your sword is not, but your Skyward Strike is. So you also have that going for you and giving you a good fighting chance of taking on this challenge. As such, that Goddess Cube at the Volcano Summit is obtainable from your first visit there. That's what I was alluding to there as well. Does this count as a redundant explanation? I'm not really sure if it does, but yeah. There is but one change left that I want to talk about, and that is the lightning round. Because you've been through this journey once already, You now have the ability to fight with Girahim for the final time, as well as Demise in the lightning round from the first time that you visit that place. So now the lightning round is quite a lot tougher. Not only that, but there are special rewards for doing the full lightning round that were not available to us before. They are as follows. On top of this, if you've completed the endgame on your first playthrough, you can go back to the Thunder Dragon and do the full lightning round in that way as well if you don't want to do it with double damage involved. And speaking of the lightning round, something kind of funny that you can do that I was hoping to show off but just never had the chance to is this. You're supposed to stop my... There we go. Okay, so if I don't resist whatsoever, he will take your sword, and so much for evil not being able to touch the Master Sword. Yeah, in the original version of this fight, it's not yet the Master Sword, and I know that the Thunder Dragon says these are just projections of your memories or some crap like that, but it's kind of funny to see Girahim wielding the Master Sword and just using it against you. It is kind of a neat attack that you don't really get to see unless you telegraph your movements too much and don't resist enough whenever he does that, but just kind of a funny thing to see that I thought would amuse some people. Oh, I guess that kind of ends the topics with hero mode because that had nothing to do with hero mode at all. So, welcome back to our normal playthrough. We got some things that I want to take care of back up in Skyloft, some little addendums that didn't really fit in much of anywhere else. So we're gonna start off by stopping in at, well, I was gonna say the waterfall cave, but we actually need to stop in and sleep in a bed and then go off to the waterfall cave. So I'll meet you inside. The waterfall cave, not the bed. Oh, hey, you're out on this bridge at nighttime. That's right. Wow, I had even more to show off than I thought I did. Good evening, Link. I thought I'd take a refreshing stroll around town, and to my surprise, there's not a monster to be seen. You don't suppose their disappearance has something to do with me becoming human, do you? Could be. Goodness, I suppose you are right. There's no denying that when I was a demon, I must have radiated a fiendish power into my surroundings. Now that I'm human, it seems my most unpleasant aura has completely faded from this place, like an odious aroma in the wind. Oh, goodness me! I couldn't be more elated! Now everyone can finally live in peace. And it's all thanks to you. You're more right than you know, buddy. But of all the places for there to be a secret, if you return to the waterfall cave at nighttime, after you have at least opened the Silent Realm in Skyloft, boing-oing, does not cough up a material. How curious. I must punish you for such insolence! Hey there, friend. What luck you have. You just stumbled upon me, the infamous Moonlight Merchant. Don't ask how I get my wares, because I'm not telling. If there's a rare bauble or two you're dying to get your hands on, I might know a stone who knows a stone who can get them for you. For a price. But, before you go whipping out your rupees, you should know my wares carry a hefty price tag. But in the what? People who come to me don't usually like collecting treasures on their own, or simply can't manage to collect what they need. You sure this is for you? Sure, I'm sure. Excellent, so tell me, what kind of treasure are you in the market for? You are able to buy some rare treasures from Moonlight Merchant. These cycle out each night, and this is your way of getting Dusk Relics after you have finished exploring all of the Silent Realms. It is, however, rather pricey. In fact, just for a bluebird feather, which we can go into the forest and catch, is 200 rupees. Really, I'd only consider this as a time saver or a last resort if you only need one more of a material to make something that you want. But it is kind of a nice place that you can get more uncommon stuff. Back in the daytime, for those of you that were like, what, people didn't just notice half a Skyloft disappearing? Oh, they did. They did. Though some are more observant than others. It's happened to Link. The goddess and her isle have vanished from Skyloft. No need to explain, Link. When all catastrophes are overcome, only then will the goddess make her return to the surface. These are the last of the sacred words passed down here in Skyloft. It is only now that I realize the significance of them. Yes, their meaning is clear to me. This must mean it's all over, and my Zelda, is she safe at least? I'm sorry. And whatever other surprises fate may have in store for you, I'm sure you will triumph. We're counting on you after all. Just stay focused on the task at hand. Put your strength into it, and you can't go wrong. I have faith that you shall bring my daughter back to me. I desire that more than an explanation of whatever it was that transpired here. Good luck, Link. Now I feel bad for making you sound like you're questioning us because you are such an awesome, awesome sack of jelly, and I love you. Oh my god, I love you so much. You are so cool. He doesn't falter whatsoever, even though he very much would have a right to question. What do you mean that doesn't count as a doc? Anyway, even though he has all the reason in the world to not be certain of us, just this guy never falters. He's such a good dad and such a good ruler of this place. Well, ruler of my high school at least. That's all for the sky. Now back on the surface, a bit of a minor detail. You can obtain some bugs like sky stag beetles that used to be exclusive to Skyloft but are now surface fauna. I can't imagine that's good for the ecosystem. Way to go, Link. But you can catch these little fellas down here on the surface now if you so wish, and there are a few bug spots around the destroyed area in front of the sealed temple. For the next thing that I want to do, we're actually going back in time. Yeah, there is more to the endgame than what we have seen. When fighting Girahim for the third time, he has a Skyward Strike attack of his own that we never saw. I guess I'm not as trash at this fight as I thought if he didn't even get to use one of his attacks, but there it is if you wanted to see it. Oh, and if you attack back instead of guard like I did, you can get your fix of traditional Zelda boss that you play tennis with. Good thing that's accounted for. And last, I did make mention of the stool in the sealed temple that's been there since the start of our journey. If you need a full heal before battling Demise, it is there for you, just up the geysers. Must actually be some pretty well-built stools because this would mean that that stool has been in this place for thousands of years before our journey began. But, more importantly than the build quality of a stool, that I'm not really so sure about, is you can actually talk to Impa and Groose after Demise has returned. Do not panic, Zelda is fine. She rests in the back room of the temple. I never expected Demise would rise again. It seems now that the fate of the world rests solely in your hands, Link. And Groose? That was way too close back there. I got a serious sweat going. Can you imagine what would have happened if I hadn't pulled off one of my famous Groose maneuvers to catch Zelda? I'll stay here and make sure she's protected, so don't worry about her one bit. Just get out there and clobber that Demise creep. I'm counting on you, Link. We all are. Groose, you are such an amazing character. Your character development, just how funny and entertaining you are, how much life you bring to the journey, you're great. I've seen some people criticize him saying, like, well, I don't like how he becomes Link's friend by the end of the journey. I don't agree. I don't think he really does. He tolerates you being there, understanding that you're important, but he never really seems to particularly like you for you. He just helps you out because it's the right thing to do. I think he is a fine character. I think he develops in a very natural way. Groose, you're great. I like you a lot. Even if you don't necessarily like me. You're still pretty darn cool. Well, that is all for what is in the game itself, but there's a few other minor topics that I would like to go over. First off, I did thank Zelda Universe as being one of my sources for the series, and for the people there just being very nice to me in general. I really appreciate everyone there. But one thing that, whoa, I don't know what happened with the camera angle there, but this is dramatic looking, wow. Okay, well, I would like to thank the people there for putting something together very nice that they really did not have to do, and Link, you are ruining the moment by doing your stretches right now. I had said that I personally enjoy the dance moves that you see in this game a lot. Girahim has a few up his sleeves. You see Fi do a lot of really elegant kind of figure skating type dances and some ballet moves. And I'd said that it was very well directed, very well choreographed, and it's something that you don't really get to see too often that's appreciated in games. Well, Alex of the Zelda Universe staff, he got in contact with me and he put together a video showing off analysis of the different dance moves in the Zelda series, not just in Skyward Sword, though a lot of the focus is there. He did give me a short little clip that he wanted me to insert right here, but honestly, if you're into that sort of thing like I am, I'd recommend just checking out the whole video, which I've got linked below and also on screen at the end of this video. Personally thought it was a really nice surprise to have something like that put together for this. And then, I guess as somewhat of a transitional topic from going from dance, music. I have said that I enjoy the music in Skyward Sword quite a bit, and even though it's not the best soundtrack in the entire series, it was a pretty cool way to show off the new orchestral score that they had going. Well, A cool little detail, and I didn't really have a good chance to go over this because every time it plays, it's a really dramatic moment where I didn't want to be like, by the way, this random bit of trivia about this song playing right now, is that the Skyward Sword theme song, when it is reversed, it makes this. Yeah, that's pretty darn clever if I gotta say so. Zelda's Lullaby is in the game, and not just in those scenes with Zelda.